The New Zealand National Party. What are the values of the New Zealand National Party? What are the principles of the New Zealand National Party? What ideals drive the New Zealand National Party? What vision does the National Party have for the future of New Zealand? These questions are very hard to answer. Beyond vague nonsense, the National Party does not really stand for anything. Some may allege that National is a pragmatic political party. Yet even pragmatism still requires some kind of values and principles. If you have no values and principles, to what end are you being pragmatic? What goal are you pursuing pragmatically? Pragmatism alone doesn't mean anything, and doesn't have any value. By definition, it is just a means to an end, and without principles, you have no end. Some may say that the National Party believes in economic efficiency and economic common sense. Yet this is just vague nonsense. Every party in Parliament believes in these things, or at least they think they do. And National's level of economic common sense is seriously in doubt. I mean, these are people who think borrowing to fund tax cuts is good economic policy. Some may claim that National has other economic values. They believe in private property rights. They believe in free markets. And so does every other party in Parliament. These are not serious values. They do not distinguish National from anyone else. This is just vague nonsense. The values of a party that has no values. Some may say that the National Party believes in individual rights. Yet they have made no effort to protect and uphold individual rights. If you believe in individual rights, as I do, the first course of action is to introduce a supreme and entrenched Bill of Rights that will protect people's rights. Yet National has no interest in such a thing. National may claim to value individual rights, but they do nothing to protect individual rights. This value goes back a long way. Sidney Holland, the first National Party Prime Minister, claimed to value individual rights. That did not stop him from destroying free speech when he banned people from supporting striking workers. It is easy to say you support something. Actually acting to support it is harder. The National Party does not seem to have any serious values. This is a serious problem because a political party needs moral values. The National Party does not seem to have any serious principles. This makes National distinct from all of the other elected parties. For all of their flaws, the other elected parties have at least some semblance of party values and principles. But National seems to be just an amoral blue mass. They don't seem to stand for anything. The few values they do have are vague and effectively meaningless. The few values they do have are basically universal in mainstream politics. Often it seems that the only purpose of the National Party is to win power. Governing seems to be their primary purpose. Gaining power and holding it. Serving the wealthy, the landlords and the farmers seems to be a secondary purpose once power is attained. But there do not seem to be any serious values. This is a dangerous thing. A party without principles is a dangerous thing. A party without values is an extremely dangerous thing. Such parties attract cynical, amoral, power-hungry people. People who view being a politician not as a moral pursuit, but as a simple job that you have to act out. They view politics as playing a role, doing a job, not a moral pursuit, not service to the country. And this is what we see when we look at National. A party with no passionate, strong arguments, no interesting ideas, no original thoughts, no righteous determination. A party of people who repeat the same hollow, empty talking points. A pack of bad actors who will say whatever they must to get their hands on power. A group of people repeating their talking points, hoping it will get them over the line. People who obviously don't believe anything. People who regard their position as a simple job, not a service to the country. They are an uninspiring bunch. They have no vision and no original ideas. They have old ideas and old talking points. They offer no interesting ideas and no new solutions. They are morally and intellectually bankrupt. They are hollow politicians, out-of-touch people who don't take their position seriously. If you have power, you have a responsibility to wield it well. They do not recognize this responsibility. They do not take their position seriously because they do not view it as a moral pursuit. They are more interested in gaining and holding power than serving any principles or following any values. New Zealand deserves better.